React hooks, sorry. So React hooks is an excellent step. React hooks is an excellent step in mastering. Excellent step in mastering. I can say in mastering modern React development. Okay. Modern React development. Hooks allows hooks allows you to use hooks allow you to use I can say use helps allows you to use the state and life cycle future of life cycle future of life cycle futures. I can say life cycle futures functional components functional components. I can say uh, making your code more making your code more readable and concise. Readable and concise. I can say concise in place of concise. I can say efficient. Clear? React hooks is an excellent step in mastering modern React development. I can say next hooks allows you to use state and life cycle futures in functional components, making your code more readable and efficient. Okay, next. Hooks in React. Clear? Hooks in React. I can say first point as use state. Use state. Okay. Use state manages state in functional components. Manages state in functional components. Second point, use effect. I can say use effect handles. I can say handles side effects. Handles side effects. I can say example. I can say easy. Say easy ways I'm getting spelling mistake. Okay, easy. Fetching data. Easy is nothing but example, Andy. Fetching data and updating the DOM. Updating the DOM. DOM is nothing but document object model. Clear? Next. Use context. I can say use context. Use context. Provide a way to share. Provide a way to share. I can say provide a way to share values between components without passing props. I can say in brackets properties manual. Done. Next point. Use context done. So next I can say we will have more and more concepts and use user also we can use reducer is nothing but an alternative way to use state. To use state. It is an alternative way to use state. It's useful for handling complex logics. Next, use ref. Ref is nothing but reference. I can say use refer accessing DOM. DOM is nothing but document object model. Document object model elements directly or indirectly, directly or indirectly, I can say persisting the values, persisting the persisting the values across vendors. Use ref done. I can say use memo. What is meant by use memo? Use memo is nothing but optimizes performance by memorizing expensive computations. Clear? I can say 7 point as we want all these are all the inbuilt functions. Still we can wanna use, but no need to use this much of complexity functions and all. Prevents, but I'm letting you all these usages. Okay, prevents unnecessary unnecessary re-renders. Prevents unnecessary re-renders of callback functions. Clear, everyone? Clear. These are all the hooks in React. Okay, next. So let us all try to implement using this in our coding structure and coding examples. Clear, everyone? Clear? Next, let us all try to implement this concept now. We'll try to use these two first hooks. Okay, we'll try to use these two first hooks and implement the code, like how it is going to execute with using some first use state and how it's going to execute using use effect. We'll see with the two examples. Okay, no issue. Next, let us all try to execute the counter app using the first two concepts. So close everything, except app.jx. Go to this. Let me create one new folder now. The concept which I'm discussing is hooks demo. Hooks demo. Done. Hooks demo. Let me create some like I can say let me create a counter app directly. Counter app. Rename this to counter app.jsx. Okay, counter app.jsx. Now I'm going to show you how to run using useState and as well as useEffect. Clear, everyone? Okay. And we'll also see some, I can also say using this, we can also execute some more and concepts. We'll show you, and I will explain you two concepts or three concepts, and we can also execute some, like I can say, without even clicking on change button. For every second, that value has to be changed for every second. So we can also execute those things also. We'll also try to execute that. Okay, using use effect. Okay. I can say let me show you first auto like counter app with use state, and we'll execute some more concepts like use effect and all. Clear, everyone? Clear? So let us all try to complete this code and we'll see. We'll try to execute counter app.jsx now. I will try to execute now. RFC RFC done. RFC done. RFC done. So let me write on some basic I can say so let me use a div. Let me write some code like count history tag counter app. No, no. counter app using useState. Counter app using useState. Okay. Next, let us all try to use the useState now. Okay. Const comma. Sorry. Constant count comma set count. Initially, I will use my count as a 0. Use state. I will initialize my value as 0. Initially 0. Done. So whenever I try to increase, we'll see how to write the code efficiently. Before I have used to write increment and decrement here itself. To avoid more code reliably, we'll try to write the code in single line itself. Clear, everyone? Clear? So let me choose like, let me display my message. Okay. H4 count colon is equal to count. Clear, everyone? So clear. So let me check with it is executing perfectly or not. Center. I can say counter app. Then counter app. So let us all try to check the output once. Counter app using use state. The count is initially 0. Done. Perfect. So let me write the buttons now. Button. Increment button. Increment button. So whenever I click on click, whenever I click on click. So let me write the function code here itself. Okay. Set count of count plus 1. Count plus 1. Again button. So again decrement button. Okay, whenever again I on click, again I'm writing no arguments. Again arrow function, single line, set count within braces. I need to reduce my count value. Done. Again, I can use NBSP here. Increment, successfully decrement, done. So let us all try to like I can say, let us all try to maintain some CSS for better purpose. So please try to create one CSS file. I can say counter app dot CSS. Counter app dot CSS. I can say counter app dot CSS. Entire thing we are going to style for the CSS everything and all counter hyphen container. These are the names I am specifying here. We can specify any name, no issue, any name. So text align center, done. I'm setting my center align, done. I can say font family. I can use any font, guys, any font. I want to use sans serif font. Okay. I can say margin top 50px. What is meant by center align? It is going to align all items to the center. Font family is nothing but my font style. Uh, Margin top is nothing but add margin from top. Clear, everyone? Clear? Next. So next. So let me change the colors now. What is the colors I have used? Let me change the H3 color here. So H3 color, H3. Again, color I need to mention here. I can mention is aqua, done. Random colors I'm mentioning. For H4 also I will mention some message. I can say font size. I can say font weight. I can say bold, done. Color, again I can say blue, Again, I can say font size. Font size is equal to like something like 15 px is sufficient, right? 15 px pixels. Done. Next, I can say for button also I can write the code. For buttons itself also I can write the code. Okay, let me write margin. Margin is equal to 10 px. Like what is meant by margin 10 px is equal to space around the buttons. Space around the buttons. I can say space around the buttons. Wait a second. I can use this star. Okay. Space around the buttons. Clear everyone? Space around the buttons. I can say padding. Padding is nothing but padding inside the button. Like we'll see how it is going to apply. Okay. I can say 10 px space 15 px. Done. Next, font size, all you know. Font size, all you know. I can say I can mention as a 16 px. Done. I can say border. I can say border. I can say border. None. Next, cursor pointer. Done. What is meant by cursor pointer? It shows the pointer cursor. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. Border is nothing but remove default border. Clear? Next. Border radius is nothing but we'll also use border radius and all smooth transition. Okay, we'll try to use no issue. Border radius 5px. Done. Transition, we can also use transition. I can say for how many seconds I can maintain my transition. 0.5 second. No, 0.3 second is sufficient, I think. 0.3 seconds. Like it smooth transition effects. Some effects only I'm adding here next. Okay. Like I can say some hover. Whenever you click on, whenever you place your cursor on button, it shows some colors. Okay. Whenever you click on button, it shows some colors. That's it. Okay. Clear everyone? Button. I can say we are going to assign not button. We are not going to maintain this color on button. We are going to whenever you place your cursor on button, we are going to show some different effects and colors and all. So hover button hyphen colon hover. I can say opacity is equal to 0,0. Like it reduces the opacity on uh, buttons and all 0.8. I can say colors also. I will place cursor. Which color I have maintained there? No color, right? So let me show you the colors, some random colors. Button hover colors are nothing but some random colors. Okay. For increment button, let me use for increment button. Let me apply this some colors. Okay. I can use background color is equal to black, and background I can say color is equal to white. Done. So let me use for the decrement also. Decrement also. Background color is equal to, I can say again, I'm going to maintain same colors. We'll see what will happen. Color is equal to white. Done everyone? Done. So how to make like use these things? Class name is equal to before using class names and all, please try to import counterapp.css in your code. Import counterapp CSS. Import counterapp CSS. Okay. Like I can say uh, before proceeding, I can say like, please include here class name is equal to what I have mentioned here. Container, counter hyphen container, please include here. Counter hyphen container. Done. Counter hyphen container. Next, let me use class name here. I written the code for the increment class. Done. Increment class. Let me include for the class name decrement. Done. Is there any changes? Am I miss you to change? So let us all try to check. It is applying for every class. No issue. Okay. Okay. Wait a second. Something went wrong. Okay. For every H3 message, it is applying, guys. Remove H3. No issue. Okay. Still, it is applying for every H4 message itself. For H4 messages also, it is applying. No need for H4 also. Okay. All looks same. But the CSS I applied for them is this thing. So whenever I place my cursor on his, the color is changing to decrement. See, like whenever I place my cursor, button hover is nothing but this color is coming to the decrement layer. Done, everyone. So whenever I click on increment, it is going to increment, guys. Whenever it is I click on decrement, it is clicking decrement. Okay. It is applying for every button because I executed everything in one class only. So it is applying for every button in the class. Okay. No issue. Okay. The concept, the thing we need to understand is the only concept, not the CSS. Don't ever try to concentrate on CSS part. Okay. Like for a basic purpose only, I executed the CSS part. So let's all try to use the same thing using counter effect and all. How it is going to affect those things, we'll see. Clear? So let me concentrate on counter effect, guys. Counter effect. Counter app using use effect. Okay. Counter app using use effect. Let us all try to execute now. So let me create one new class. Counter app. Same thing. I can name it as a counter effect. Okay. Because same names will be happen for the same classes. So let me copy this code. Counter effect done. Same thing. Use state. Why I'm using use state here? Use state hook to manage count state done. Now the concept which I'm going to execute now is use effect. Okay, use effect. What is meant by use effect? Use effect hook to trace count updates. Okay, so let us all try to use the use effect concept now. Okay, use effect again, open braces. Again, let me use no arguments, but let me use the function like curly braces. What I can say, arrow functions. I can say console dot. I can display my output in console dot log of counter updated value. Counter. I can. Okay, sorry, I forgot to include this in single quotes. Counter updated value. I can say as dollar curly brace count. Okay, it is going to retrieve my count value in the uh, console also. Whenever you are updating in the browser, the same value it is going to update in the console as well. It is going to update in the console as well. Clear, everyone? So I can say uh, it is a message, log message. Whenever the count updates, whenever count get updates, count get updates. Clear, everyone? I can say how it is going to update? We need to include here. Like count. We need to include here based on which purpose we need to update. Based on the count purpose we need to update. So what is meant by this? Why I mentioned like this? Nothing but I can say dependency on which it has to dependent. It has to dependence. We need to say depend on this array or ensures that use effect works correctly. Okay. Dependency array ensures that use effect runs when count changes. Ensures that use effect runs perfectly when count changes. So based on this count only, please update my value from the browser to console as well. So let me close this once. Let me rerun the server. I can say counter app using use effect. Okay, use effect. Count all same, done. So let me check the browser as well. Okay, forgot. I forgot to include this in the counter effect. Sorry, counter effect. Counter effect. Let me open the console also as well. Console. Let me check the console also. Counter updated value. Okay. Why it is showing like this? See, whenever I update my value, it is showing here 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Counter updated value. Clear everyone? Counter updated value. But the thing is like, I forgot why it is showing as a dollar curly brace. It should display my message, right? Where I written wrong. Okay, sorry. I used a single quotation. Sorry. We need to use backtick, right? We need to use backtick. Where the backtick is going to be resided. Side of your one alphabet is up top of the tab button in your keyboard. It is going to show you negation button and backtick button. Please use the backtick. Okay, nice. So at present, the counter updated value is 0. At present, the counter updated value is 0. It won't update, guys. It won't update when you see when I'm updating counter app using useState, it is not updating in the console, but it is just incrementing in the browser itself only. It is just incrementing in the browser only. It is not updating in the console. To avoid these issues, we are using counter app using use effect. What is meant by use effect? Whenever you are updating in the browser, it is also updating in the console as well. See, increment 1, counter updated value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like this, it is going to update, guys. Clear, everyone? Clear? Done. I can say what is the difference? What are the key differences we observed in use effect and use state? Use state versus use effect. Okay, use state versus use effect. Okay, I can say it updates based like whenever say I can say let us all try to write the differences based on our input. Okay, write the differences based on our output. Okay, is it both are updating whenever you click on increment decrement? It is updating in front of the in UI. Is still they are updating in UI? Yes, they are updating in UI as well. Whenever you click on button, it is updating in UI. So no issue. I can say any updates in UI, any updates UI, any updates in UI user interface. Yes, done. Next, I can say, is it logs the output to the console, output to the console. For both it is yes, guys. For both it is yes, but it is not yes for both because whenever I reset my page, whenever I click on increment, it is not it when I use state, it is not updating in the console. It is updating only in the browser. So for use state, I can say as no, but for use effect, I can say it is as fs s s. See, done. Whenever I click on increment, it is updating in the console also. Done. These are the two differences. Next, uh, uh, trigger. Can it can it triggers? Can it triggers side effects? Can it triggers the side effects? I think for use state it is no. For use state it is no. But for use effect is yes. It is updating the count for every time. It's a side effect, right? Next, can any re-renders? Any re-renders? Yes for both. Any re-renders? I can say yes for both. Yes, only when state updates, re-rendering is done. And here, when the state updates, the logging is done and updating also is done. Clear, everyone? Clear?